Wise. And so being wise, this is what you got to consider. You got to consider in this statement that I'm reading to you in Leviticus up here from 23, 22 to 26. And I'm going to read over here in the book of Numbers. Go over in the book of Numbers, chapter 35. I'm going to start right here in verse 30. And I want you to see how the land is defiled and how why Yahweh visiting. And when he bring his visitation of his judgment in it, no one can escape his wrath. No one, not even the demons themselves. The book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 30. Whoso killed any person, man, woman, boy, girl, black or white, Jew or Gentile, Hebrew or what? Whoso killed any person, the murderer shall be put to death. Now this is what Yahweh law concerning the murderer. Not to feed him, not to clothe them, not to put them in a ward and continue to allow their life to span for 15 or 20 years because you want to do due process of a person. If this was taken according to Yahweh's word by his spirit, whoso killed any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, meaning more than one. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. So that one person know that their word cannot cause another person to be killed. But it happened in America. Has happened great in America. A lot in our country. And this is why the land is polluted. The land gonna spew you out. The earthquakes, the volcanoes, the fire, the pestilence, the things that are gonna be coming upon you. And there is no escape for you. You can invent every kind of robot machine that you want to invent. AI, you have given it over to all the system. But it cannot fight against Almighty. It's a robot, it's a machine. And the machine is man-made. Anything that is man-made gonna be made to destroy man with, and gonna be made to die with mankind. It's not almighty. It's man-made. Like your idols, like your image, like your homes, like your buildings, like your cars, like everything that you possess and own is man-made. And man didn't make gold and silver. Took it by force and violence. And they're going to be a witness against you because you have got rich off of innocent blood. Let's read on. Moreover, you shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer. No satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death. But he or she shall be surely put to death, because she is doing it too. She's been doing it for a while. And you take no satisfaction in it. Execute righteousness. Let's read on. Verse 32. And you shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge. He can run to the city of refuge. What he did in that city, he can escape and go to his city of refuge. And he think he still has escaped the judgment of what he has done in one place, running to another place. Escaping, fleeing. That's what you call an escaped convict. He's trying to find a place of refuge. that he should come again to dwell in the land. He can't come back to the territory that he fled from, the land where the sin was committed, until the death of the priest. Not the judge, not anything that dealing with the system set up by Satan, but a priest of Yahweh has to leave the earth for them to come back into that land which he did the wrong in. Why? So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are. So you won't pollute the land wherein you are. The land is polluted by the wrongdoing of man and woman. I don't care what race you are. You're of the human race. Not of a race dealing with black and white. Not dealing with the nationality of people of their claim or what. It's the human race. Male and female. Male and female consist of the human race. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are. For blood, it defiled the land. How much blood has been shed before we was able to read and write and understand this? How much blood was shared back in the time of all the great empire that began from the time of Nimrod to build a tower to reach unto heaven? How much blood has been shed in this earth? Because this earth ain't another earth. Ain't nobody went to another planet. They left this earth and got to give account for what they have done in this earth. But this earth ain't went to another planet, and another planet brought this earth back again, and it's a new earth and a new beginning. That ain't happened. It's the same earth from the time of Nimrod. The same earth. Blood has been shed and the land is defiled. And the land cannot be clean. Now look, I want you to understand what I'm finna read to you. To show you that the earth can become your worst enemy. Your worst enemy. And Satan knew it. And he'll step back because he's a spirit. It's not going to affect him. It's going to affect us that are doing these things to each other. And the land cannot be clean of the blood that is shared therein. How you going to clean the land? You have just built up bodies upon bodies upon bodies that was taken innocent through war, through creating famine, through creating pestilence. By your creation that you have done, you have called innocent people's life to be taken from the land. And the land can't be clean. That is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And let me read this again for you can see what the law is presenting here and how Moshe presented this according to the land. Verse 33. And the land cannot be clean by the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Now, by the one that shed it, if you take his or her life from the earth, then the earth can be clean from their wrongdoing. They shed the blood. So what took place up there in Minnesota, what taking place in the rest of the state and the rest of the world, is that those that dropped the bomb, the only way that the land can be clean is that the one that did it gonna have to reap what they have sowed. They're gonna have to reap what they have sowed. Verse 34. Defile not therefore the land which you shall inhabit, wherein I dwell. His spirit moved upon the face of the water. His spirit moved in the land to feed every living thing what they have need of by his spirit. His spirit. For I, Yahweh, dwell among the children of the Hebrews. He dwelt. But the remnant, he's brought up under the shadow of his wing. Because all the Hebrews not going to be saved. All Israel are not Israel, synagogue of Satan. So Yahweh is telling you by this statement that I have read to you, that you may be concerned about, that you don't see distraction got you over here, protesting, holding candlelight vigilant concerning death, innocent blood being shed for this person, for that person, for this person. And the only thing you can do is have a candle in your hand, and yet you cannot see. The Yahweh told you through what Jeremiah was going through, chapter 9. He said in chapter 9, verse 17, thus said Yahweh of hosts, consider you and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for the wise women, that they may come, and let them make haste and take up a wailing for us. I told you, Satan has made sure that these women can't be called for, or sent and gathered, or they can come by their own free will. And yet you say that you're in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And the women can't come out. And the one come out, they're coming only to fit in the tradition that other women are doing, customary tradition. It's putting the counter in their hand and standing by. Whatever they're singing and whatever they're saying, Yahweh is not their money. Satan is. Because he the one that brought death. And death is just waiting to get more. They're all in line. They're like sheep led to the slaughter. But he said to warn my people and show them their transgression, the house of Jacob their sin. I have showed you this day what Yahweh has to say about you. And what you're doing and what you're not doing. But know one thing. The land has become your enemy. Because what you're allowing to take place and what you're not doing in it. You're not sowing seed unto righteousness. And what I saw on my phone, me and my wife, Hepzibah, concerning that interview that they was doing with this representative of this woman that was in the House of Representatives, I think, a black woman, what she was going to do. While the man is over there trying to weep, trying to cry for what's going on with them, the Latino man. And she didn't have a tear in her eye. You know the reason why? Because she don't have the spirit of that. She went through the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and she got education out of it, and she got educated in Egypt. She got educated in Caesar. She got educated in the things of the British Commonwealth. She got educated in America. But she don't have the spirit of wailing and lamentation. for the blood that was shed. And that means that the men that are in this world today don't have the women to stand in the gap to make up the hedges on behalf of them, for their eyes, that our eyes may run down with tears and our eyelid gush out with water. You're in trouble when you turn your back on your Maker and Creator. Salvation is not something that you think that the church and told you. Just accept the name of Jesus Christ and you'll be saved. Go on back home, continue on in your ways. You have been baptized in the name of Jesus. You go to church, you got a church to come to and stuff. And that's tradition of the hirelings. They care not for the sheep. They care for their wages because they just got another person in and they're going to pay their tithes and their offering and he can live off of that. But in your distress, you can't live off of him. But he can live off of you. You're not understanding. As I said this to you, let me turn in chapter 10. Chapter 10, Jeremiah. Verse 18. And I'm going to read this to you in verse 18. And I'm going to show you who's the doer of this. It ain't Satan. It ain't Satan that's going to bring this spirit upon you. It's Yahweh that's bringing this upon you. For thus said Yahweh, behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this once. I will sling them out. I'll put them out in disarray. I'll put them out in confusion of face because of all the abomination that they're doing. I will sling them out of my midst at this once and will distress them that they may find it so. Now what you're going to find that is so, but you're not going to know what is going on with you, is distress. There's no pill, no medication, not anything that you can escape from it. Unless Yahweh remove it, it will take you from this earth. He said, I will bring distress on them that they may find it so. You can't even find what it is that is upon you that is causing you to act like this, do this to one another, to defile the land. The man be with man, woman be with woman, eating everything that is abominable to the flesh. You can't find it so because you do it daily in routine. And he said he will bring distress on you that you may find it so. Let's turn over to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1. Turn over to the book of Proverbs, chapter 1. We'll start right here in verse 20. I'm going to read this to you for you can find out this also who is doing it by the spirit of distress. Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the street. She cried in the chief place of the concourse, the northern street, wherever that. Wisdom has a word to be said to the wise. But to the fool void of understanding, they can't hear it. They can't hear wisdom. She cried in the chief place of the concourse, in the northern street, in the opening of the gate, in the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, you simple one, will you love simplicity? To do the things that you continue to do over and over and act, continue to put tattoos on your body like it's yours. To continue to lie and steal like you the one that don't have to give account ever what you're saying and doing. And the scorner delight in the scorning, and fool hate knowledge. This is all right here in the street. Turn you at my reproof. They won't turn. And y'all would say, turn at my reproof. Somebody tell you, stop doing that, son. Stop doing that, daughter. You can't do that. You can't live that way. You can't talk that way. You can't act that way. Stop. Turn. I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you, but you won't receive it. He didn't pour it out. You still won't receive it. Because I have called, and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regardeth. But you have set at naught all my counsel. Everything that was of his, you set it aside. You ain't going to pay attention to it. And wore none of my reproof. You had nothing to do with his reproof, stopping you in your track to turn from your ways, because you enter into death and you're fellowshipping with the spirits of iniquity. You didn't care about that. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear come. When your fear come as desolation, as your destruction come as a whirling wind. When distress, he said, when distress and anguish come upon you, because it's going to come, because he's the one that's going to do it. When distress come upon you, then shall you call upon me, but I will not answer. This is the same one that bless you will turn around and curse you. That you say, oh, I'm heavily favored, I'm blessed. Oh, I'm blessed to have this house, this job, this car, this money. Oh, I'm blessed. But your attitude and behavior don't go together with your blessing. It's your doing. Did you declare you're blessed? It's not the blessing of Yahweh. Because a blessing of Yahweh comes through obeying his voice. And he blessed those that serve him. You're serving yourself. You're self-individual. You're self upon your own attitude and behavior. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. There was none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own ways and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of food shall destroy them. But whoso listen unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. This is what Yahweh is doing to his people, the remnant that will obey him. They will have a quiet resting place from fear of no evil. And this is why evil won't visit them, because they're resting in him, not in a day. They're not trying to find a day to rest in. Oh, I'm going to rest come Shabbat. I'm going to rest come the Sabbath. It's coming, and I'm going to enter into it. You still ain't got rest for your soul. You just enter into a day from evening to evening. You keeping that day. When that day is gone, you still trouble in your spirit and in your soul, and you still in the same sin. When that day came and left, you still in that same sin. You're still in that same attitude. That same behavior. You haven't changed. You haven't heard his reproof or correction. And when distress upon you, you're trying to run down in Egypt and get help. You're trying to take any kind of medication. And some of you even go to the bottle of the spirit of alcohol. The spirit of alcohol. To try to stop that distress upon you. You jump in bed with anybody and everybody, trying to get that spirit of distress off of you. Is Yahweh doing? You're eating the fruit of your own doing. So this same one you say that will bless you, the book of Joshua. Joshua, chapter 24. Chapter 24. Verse will start at verse 19. Joshua 24:19. And Joshua said unto the people, you cannot serve Yahweh, for he is holy. He's a holy creator. And Joshua saw them and know who they were serving. So he immediately expressed to them, you cannot serve him the way that you're serving yourself. You're doing, your attitude, your behavior. You can't serve Yahweh. For he's holy. He is jealous creator. He will not forgive your transgression nor your sin if you don't repent and turn from it. He won't forgive you. He'll let you keep going on because he'll put the stress upon you and you'll eat the fruit of your own doing. If you forsake Yahweh and serve strange deity, idols and images and statues and stuff that you're performing for, and when they tell you, oh, you won, you rush down there and grab that idol and image and stuff, and you don't realize you finna eat the fruit of your own doing. Your idol. You'll lose your soul. And distress gonna come upon you immediately because you have touched an idol of an image and they made it unto you because you were competing against everybody around you to win that. To win that recognition. And you the only one that's being lifted up by the spirit of death, and death take you down into the pit, the bottomless pit, where you'll be cast in that day of judgment into the lake of fire. For your idol and your image, your ways and your attitude and your behavior. Then he will turn. Now, if you forsake him and serve other deities, then he will turn and do you hurt and consume you after that he had done you good. Now, he have done you good. But you didn't understand the good that he had done for you because you wasn't serving him. You was trying to get ahead in life. And trying to get ahead in life, you start dealing with your attitude, dealing with your ways. You start seeing, oh, I can get a BMW. Oh, I can buy me a house now. And you begin to pat yourself on the back with your own doing. And forsook him. Your own doing took over. So you done forgot who gave you heft to get out of the bed that morning, to go about to do what you was doing that day. You forgot who gave you the water to drink and the food to eat. You forgot who laid you down and woke you up. He'll do you hurt after he have done you good. He'll bring distress upon you. And the people said unto Joshua, no, no, but we will serve Yahweh. And Joshua said unto the people, you are witness against yourself that you have chosen you, Yahweh, to serve him. Ain't nobody going to be able to condemn you in that day of judgment when you leave this earth but you. Ain't nobody going to be called as a witness. Don't have to. Everything you said and done has been written down in the Lamb Book of Life. In the Book of Remembrance. All being wrote down. You'll stand before him yourself and give account for your own deeds and your sin and your iniquity. And they said, we are witnesses. And Joshua said, you're witness again. And they agreed. We are witnesses. What we said we're going to serve. Now therefore put away, said he, the strange deity which are among you, and incline your heart unto Yahweh of your creator. And the people said unto Joshua, Yahweh our Creator will we serve, and his voice will we obey. Is you going to obey his voice today to stop trying to get in politics, protesting, having the vigilante counters and stuff? Is you going to start being holy? Is you going to understand, to know and consider that you have left something in the earth that was needed, and you haven't taught your daughters, and your daughters taught their neighbors' daughters? So when their visit with the spirit of death come up upon them, that they can call and send for the women that are wise and craft and understanding concerning how to pray unto Yahweh. Because this is a prayer that only they can utter. Once again, Hannah, she was groaning in her own spirit concerning she was being mocked. She was not being loved because she couldn't bear a child. But Hannah had a voice, and Yahweh had the ear to hear her. There's no ears out here among the women today in America. They got that spirit because they didn't get it from their mother's spirit. How to enter into the spirit of lamentation and wailing, to prevent the demons of death to come in among them and take away their sons and daughters that fast from them. When that happens, you see women saying, "Oh, I want justice." Who they crying to? The court. They ain't crying to Yahweh. They stand there and say what they want to say. Because a woman in weep and wailing and lamentation, she don't need a camera on her. She don't need the court for her. She need her Creator to hear her voice, that he will execute judgment on behalf of the innocent blood that was taken from her. You're losing a battle, and the battle is not yours but Yahweh. He has tried to taught you how to fight for your soul in righteousness and truth, but you don't have a love for the truth that you might be saved. You got a love for the world that you may live in it and do that which is pleasing in your own sight. I pray to the people of the remnant of Yahweh that the women of Yahweh start obeying his voice, to come off among them and be separated, said Yahweh, and touch not the unclean thing that he received you. Because the land is our dwelling place. The land is what feed us and clothe us. It was good. Yahweh made it good for us. He didn't make another planet that we can run to. Satan know that. That's imagination that is in the mind of a man, that a man think he can invent and create these machines and fly off into another destination with other machines that he have built and made, that he gonna secure his life. Remember, the life that is in the vessel is just that's it. That's all we are in here. And when it return back unto Yahweh, he gonna judge you for everything you have said and done that was not displeasing in his sight. You have need of one another, I have told that. I haven't got a response, and probably won't get a response from nobody. But Yahweh is the one that commanded me and charged me to speak his word. Freely I have received it, and freely I give it. But I'm an example before the believers. Every day of my life, I have a pattern that Yahweh has given me to stay holy, be holy, to worship him in the beautiness of holiness, to stay steadfast, unmovable, all well bound in the work of Yahweh, knowing that my labor is not in vain, because I know I can't serve two masters. That was given to me in my youth, as I give it to my son in his youth. Shema. Hear, O Israel, for Yahweh your Creator is one. And we shall love him with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. Because it takes strength to love Abba Yahweh. And you know what else? It takes strength to love one another. You can't do it on your own. This thing is not by power or might, but by his spirit, said Yahweh. And you're in a spiritual warfare, and it's not against flesh and blood. So I pray that you will get your house in order, that you have to flee, you better flee now. If you have to be with brothers and sisters that made themselves presentable in his sight, that are going to be holy every day of their life, find a place to be with them. But tradition that made the word of Yahweh non-effective. Tradition is going to carry you to the pit of man. Because he have told you to come out. So if anybody want to get in touch with me, get in touch with me. As I've said and will still say, I'm going to prove you as you prove me, that we can get in one accord, in the same mind, same spirit, and of the same judgment, that there be no division among us, that no one walking contrary one to another, that we'll have all things in common, that there will be no one lacking among us, because we can come together if the one that confess they got the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Hadash, can realize this thing is not by spirit or might. Denomination is just division. You want to say you're a denomination person and stuff, you can say it, but you got to bear fruit of it. You got to bear fruit. Fruit of Yahweh is not in denomination. Fruit of Yahweh is in Yeshua. Yeshua is not in denomination. Yeshua is in the spirit of Abba, the Father. He come to reconcile us back to Abba, the Father. Yeshua didn't come to set the captives free to go into the world to serve the world. He came to set the captives free that we may serve one another, know how to serve our Maker, that bless us to know how to love one another as he has loved us. That perfect love casts out all fear. When you're perfect in him, mature in him, complete in him. Because see, in this world you're going to have tribulation. Yeshua said, be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. And when you see the word, be ye perfect, for I'm also perfect, perfection has to take place. Because the word perfect carries two things in it. Maturity and complete. You can be complete in work that you do, but you're not mature in anything dealing with people. So you're not perfect. And Satan tells you there's no perfect people. No one can be perfect. They even made a song to a woman trying to say there's no perfect people and stuff. That's a lying spirit. Because Enoch walked this earth, this same earth that I'm ministering to you in today, for 365 years and was not found because Yahweh took him and he left his testimony that he pleased Yahweh. That means Enoch's house was in order. His wife was submitted to him. His wife was a holy woman. His children were holy. So he stayed holy before Yahweh because he didn't have no distraction. Satan got you with everything you're distracted with today, that you can't even see the word complete or mature. But you can see the word. If you go to job and they hire you and they paying you, they want this perfect done. You strive to do that work perfect. But the work for your soul and the work for the kingdom of heaven, you care less about doing it perfect. You care less. Your excuse is, he's not done with me yet. I'll get there. Yeah, he's going to be done with you when he take his breath. You're done. Your world has came to the end. Not the world then came to the end. Just your life then came to the end. So if you don't turn from your evil and wicked ways, attitude, behavior, and learn how to live among true people that can perfect you in what you're lacking in, you'll stay in that independent spirit and you'll die, and the land will vomit you out, and there's no refuge that you can go and hide from. So I pray that this message will get to the people that got ears to hear what the Spirit is saying and understand that they're going to have to choose this day whom they're going to serve. Because death then came up into you. And it's taking your sons and your daughter right off the street, right off the jobs, right out of their house. And you can't fight this battle with bullets. You can't fight it. So I pray that you consider what I say, and may Yahweh give you understanding. I love you. I love the elects. I love the people that will come out of sin and iniquity and prove themselves worthy, trustworthy. Can it be found trustworthy in matters dealing with people's souls? Their souls. Because that's what you're going to have to give account for. How you treated somebody and how you treat the body that he gave you to live in. May Yahweh bless you and have mercy upon you. May you have ears to hear and understand. Because this day, you're going to have to give account for what you said and what you did in hearing this message. In Yeshua's name, I pray. Shalom and shalom.